Alright, so for those of you who are on my Facebook page, sometimes I'll put up teasers about gear that's coming in or projects I'm going to be doing, and I've been teasing people for weeks about my new powered speakers that were on order, and they're here. And this is just a teaser before we get into the actual subject matter of this video. Tomorrow, hopefully, we can crank them up for you. Right now, it's like 1:30 at night, so I got people sleeping, can't do it. So stay tuned for a full demo on these tomorrow. These are my new RCFs. They're beautiful. I love them. Natural sounding, and for powered speakers, I guess I was kind of maybe a little apprehensive, but these changed my mind. They've got a beautiful sound to them, no distortion, nice stuff. Anyway, stay tuned for that tomorrow. We'll talk more about these speakers. So, for those of you who are wondering, yes, RCF is where I went. I'm very happy to have RCF now. Anyhow, why I turned the camera on in the first place. Our good friend Stacey Knowles out of Pensacola, Florida, he's a wedding DJ. He also does the graveyard shift on a country station. He's very good. He comes to Mobile Beat and hangs out with us. Nice guy. He had a Facebook status that I found interesting, and I thought I would do a quick video on it. He was talking about wedding coordinators and how he feels like the ones that he's been working with do not respect the DJ as someone who can do entertainment planning, and they don't seem to coordinate very well with them. His example was he had a wedding coordinator who had him stop the music during dancing to cut the cake, which of course is bad planning. But the first thing you have to ask yourself is, how good of a wedding planner is this? If you did not know there was a wedding coordinator before you got to the gig, they can't be coordinating very well because they didn't coordinate with you before the gig. And if they did contact you before the gig, why didn't you help coordinate with them? See, here's the thing. We are entertainment planners. We're good at this. We do this all the time. We're not wedding planners per se. We're not out picking out dresses and tuxedos and floral arrangements and things like that. At least most of us aren't. I think most of us are just kind of, trying to get a good timeline for the evening going. And that's where we can be of service to these wedding planners and say, hey, look, here's my idea. Here, let's have the grand entrance, and as soon as the bride and groom come in, before they sit down for the meal, let's have them cut the cake real quick. That way catering can have it cut up for them by the time dessert rolls along and doesn't interrupt us anywhere else in the evening. That's coordinating with the wedding coordinator, and that's what you should be doing. But if you get blindsided by a wedding planner, which happens, and it's happened to me, then I think it's probably best just to kind of go with it, just to work with them the best you can. And if possible, have a powwow with them before everything kicks off. Let's say that you're set up a half hour early. Grab the wedding planner and say, hey, I'm the DJ. What were you thinking for a timeline for the evening? How do you want things to go? Do you have things printed out? Do you have an itinerary? And if they do, have a look at it with them. And if you see a problem, point it out. Do it kindly. Don't try to come in there and take over everything. But be kind about it. And the reason you need to be kind about this is because if you can earn the respect and trust, they are going to recommend you to clients. And it happens to me. I've got 2 wedding coordinators that I work with in my area. And they like me because I'm easy to work with. And they know what I do and I know what they do. And it's like a dance when we get together. There are no questions. And what's cool about that is when they recommend you to a client, they've already sold you. The only thing you have to do is sit down with this client and tell them how much you're going to actually charge them for their gig. And you can do things like sell uplighting to them, and the coordinator, oh yeah, the uplighting is fantastic, you're going to love it, blah, blah, blah. I've worked with this guy before, he's excellent. That's what you want. You don't want to go in there and say, hey, this is my job. You need to get out of the way and stop screwing up the program. They're not going to respond well to that. Stacey said some of them are like egomaniacs. I don't know that they're egomaniacs. I think that they're nervous because they've been working with the bride and groom for a long time, especially the bride. Who knows, maybe the bride was difficult and they're just trying to have an evening go off without any problems. And the more control they feel like they have, the less problems they feel like they'll have. But again, earn their trust, turn a negative into a positive, and make a friend. That's my advice for today. So hopefully we can crank these up tomorrow, RCF, once again, they're beautiful. You're going to love them. And if you have any questions, comments, whatever, let us know in the comment section. Practice and enjoy.